It's God's gift through His word. It's God's gift through His word.
Hey everyone, how are you guys doing? It is T. Drake Podcasting Godmother Connection, and you know what I'm back for. I'm back to give you part 2 of the interview with Vice Mayor Vincent Manfredi. So if you saw part 1, awesome. If you missed it, go back and check it out. It is out on YouTube, it's out on Facebook, it's out on Spotify and every podcast platform that you can find. So go check it out and then come back and watch part 2 of the interview with the Vice Mayor Vincent Manfredi. It's going to be good. So stick around. It's up next.
Sorry, I talk a little too long sometimes.
No, that's
but
great.
I give the answers.
Well,
you know,
I'm not one of those people that have a negative.
Yeah.
I just ask the question. You are the man that answers the question.
there you go.
So I wanted to ask you too, because you were talking about Costco and things like that, but other box stores like Hobby Lobby, would they not be the same? Like, why would we come? We got one in Casa Grande. Like, what's
It's the
the
same
point?
concept. It's the
Okay.
same concept, right? It's where are people going to buy their stuff, right? And they ask you for your number. They ask you for your phone number.
Yeah.
They ask you for your zip code.
Correct.
They want to know where you're coming from,
Right.
right? And as more people are going there, right? They look at it and go, oh, okay, well, right? They're coming here anyway.
Right.
Then you might see something online with or they might call you one day, not Hobby Lobby, but some marketing company saying, I'd like to do a survey with you. And you're like, all right, I'll answer your questions. Happens a lot more during political season, but it happens with businesses too, where they say, what kind of businesses would you like to see? And you'll get that phone call. If you get that phone call, please take it and answer the questions honestly, because that helps site developers or site selectors to understand where they want to be. Send an email to Hobby Lobby and say, hey, I would love to shop, but I'm not driving a half an hour for it. Why don't you have one in the city of Maricopa?
Right.
Right. I needed something small and I got it at Fry's Marketplace today. I would have preferred to have bought my fake flowers or whatever it is at Hobby Lobby, but I didn't want to drive 45 minutes each way.
Right.
Right. Or half an hour each way. You should have one in the city of Maricopa. That's how the people of Maricopa can affect it, by sending mass emails and texts and calls, talking to the store manager to tell his district manager, hey, you should have one in Maricopa, whatever it is.
Right.
Right. And that's how you get businesses to come here. It's the people
That ask for the demand. That's the same thing with the grocery stores. Like if somebody wanted to Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, like here in the Winds, if they want that, they need to be utilizing.
Oh, you gotta tell them. Gotta tell them.
Yeah. Okay.
And we pushed Aldi's a lot, right? And they're here now.
Yeah.
And it's like, these are the choices we have. We have Safeway, Fry's, and Walmart, right? And then we told Sprouts that. And there was a sort of a competition between Sprouts and Trader Joe's for that same piece of property, where they were like talking back and forth with the developer, and Sprouts won out, right? But will Trader Joe's come here? Probably, because they're losing the people that were driving to Trader Joe's to Sprouts.
Yeah, and they're pretty far.
Yeah.
If you try to find one, they're not.
So
that
will
close.
they come eventually?
Yeah.
Right. Will Albertsons? Yeah, is that the name of it? Yeah. Will Safeway and Albertsons and Bash? Oh, yeah, Bashes.
We have Bashes.
I said Safeway, I meant Bashes. Well, that's why I was confused. I was like, wait a minute. Safeway come here? Probably one day. Why wouldn't they? Safeway and Albertsons.
They're killers. Yeah.
So will they come? Probably. But there's a company called Fry's, Kroger, who said, before they come, I'll open my other store.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Fry's opened another store.
Okay.
And they're opening on Cascade Highway in White Parker. That's the plan there. So Fry's is going to come over here before Safeway can get in there. Well, before Albertsons, before Whole Foods. They're like, we got to lock down our people.
Right.
Because we don't want them to go into these new places.
Right.
So it really just comes down to talking to the businesses, site selectors, and figuring that stuff out, and just having the conversations. And it doesn't hurt to get the elected officials involved, right?
Right.
Because when we're talking to people, we hold a little bit more. We're like, oh, really? And we can talk to them and say, look, we're open for business in the city of Maricopa. Come down and talk to us.
Right.
We know every piece of land that's for sale in the city of Maricopa. We can get you with our economic development team. We can place everybody together, get you with the landowners. We can do these types of things. We just need to hear from you.
You just got to come.
Yeah. And once people tour this city, they change their minds a lot. And they go, whoa, wait, what? How's this happening? Because they remember from 10 years ago, they drove down here, or 20 or 30.
Oh, yeah.
You know, my father-in-law tells me times where he came down here and they would go dove hunting. Right? And the only thing here was the Dairy Queen and headquarters.
Oh,
That was it. Across from it was a little grocery store called the Mercantile, Maricopa Mercantile.
Oh.
It had dirt floors in it in some places. It was not a great place to shop.
Okay.
But that was the only grocery store or only like market, right? That's before Safeway, before anything. I have a video that Mike Chance gave me, and basically I drove around the city of Maricopa. It was all just dirt. Everything was dirt. Nothing existed, right? The housing didn't exist. There was a couple hundred houses, a couple thousand people, right? That was it. That's what this town was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Talking 30 years.
That's a long.
So if you're 60 and you haven't been here in 30 years, you remember driving down here and going dove hunting. There was nothing here. Why the heck would I build a grocery store? There's nobody living there. And in people's brains, they just don't, they still think of us as that.
Yeah, there's nothing out there.
When we have 80,000 people.
Right.
Just within city limits. Outside the city, we have another 20, 30,000 people, growing to another 100, 120,000 people. Wow. We're going to have 200,000 people in this small area. If you run a business, a retail business, or service industry, or anything, and you're not looking at the city of Maricopa for your next expansion, you're crazy. You're crazy. This is the future.
Yeah.
You can open up another branch or another store or another location in Tempe. Okay. But what did you do? Right? You made a little extra money, maybe? I don't know. But you open here, you open up a whole brand new branch of business.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what the job of citizens and elected officials is we talk to those people and explain that to them. Right? We have people that live in the city of Maricopa with high educations, make great money, but they have to drive 45 minutes to an hour and a half each way every day.
Right. Every
day. And they hate it.
Yeah.
If you gave people back 2 to 3 hours of their day by opening a business here for them, they take less money. They do 100%. They go, oh, I make 180,000 up there. I'll take 70 here. That's 2 hours each way. The gas alone. Wait, I can go home and have lunch.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can go to my daughter's softball game. Huh. So I might be able to make it there at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
5:30. Because if you work up north and you get off at 5, you're not making it down here for 5:30.
No, you're not.
Maybe not 6. Maybe not 6:30.
Right.
So if your kid's in a play after school and it starts at 5:30, 6 o'clock, but you work here, quality of life.
Right.
So people will work hard, work for almost less money, for a better quality of life. And that's what a company that moves here can do. Whether it's manufacturing or call center, whatever it is. If you are hiring people and you want a good, qualified, educated, hardworking workforce that's going to appreciate you as a business, City of Maricopa is the place to come.
Yeah.
Open your business here and you'll see that. And if you see businesses that open here and you talk to them, they're like, yeah, we have good employees. Yeah. And they're 90% of them are from Maricopa.
Yeah.
And you're like, exactly. You know, and that's what you see. You know, I had a guy, he worked at Intel, right? And he wasn't like a $200,000 a year, what do those call it, engineer.
Okay.
He's a maintenance guy, right? I say just maintenance. He's making good money up there.
Okay.
Right? Very good money. But he's a maintenance guy. He takes care of the machinery and stuff. He has a job at one of the new retail stores in the city of Maricopa. He makes a little less money. He's happier. He's happier because he gets to do the things he couldn't do because he was spending 45 minutes a day on the 347 each way.
Yeah.
So this is a great place. You know, I love the city of Maricopa. I just love it. That's why I live here. That's why I'm never moving out of here. You know, I love it. And are there Are there blemishes? Sure. There's blemishes everywhere. Are there problems? Sure. I own a media company here in the city of Maricopa. I own in Maricopa. We're here at this place, right?
Yeah.
I own this place, and it tells stories. And it tells stories that are news, factual stories. It tells community interest stories. The news stories are, there was a shoplifter, a fraud. Now everybody said, oh my God, shoplifting is crazy. Right? Like, oh my God, it's crazy. There's so much shoplifting because there was 4 stories about shoplifting in the last week. Okay. If you go to Tempe, there are no stories about shoplifting. You know why? Why? Because you'd be writing one every minute. It's too many. You go to Phoenix, there's no stories about shoplifting in the media because you'd have to sit at Fry's or Walmart all day with a reporter going, another one, another one, another one. I mean,
they're always happening.
It's always happening. So it's not news. Right. There's murders in Phoenix and they write those stories. Yeah. We don't get those stories here. Once in a while. Right? You get something, and usually that's domestic, right? But you get that story about somebody killing someone or something like that. Yeah. Not murder. But violent crimes, usually domestics here. Yeah. Right? There's not a lot of people walking down John Wayne Parkway just punching people. Right. Go to Phoenix every dang day. Yeah. They don't even write stories about it. Yeah. So the thing is, here, we're such a small city that everything is news. Yeah. Everything is news. Right? So you see domestic violence happens. And everybody's like, oh my God, so much domestic violence in the city of Maricopa. Now, don't get me wrong, it happens and it's bad. And it's probably one of the #1 calls we get as police departments, domestic violence stuff. But the reality is, it doesn't happen here as much as it happens elsewhere. Just here, it's news. Yeah. Sorry. So people get that negative connotation and they're like, oh my God, there's so much crime in Maricopa. Come on, it's not. There's not. Crime per capita in the city of Maricopa is very low. Very low. Just you hear about every single crime. Yeah. Right? Where in Tempe, Phoenix, and Chandler, and Gilbert, you don't hear about it. Yeah. And here's a test for everybody. Download on your phone the Citizen app. Okay. Citizen app is pretty cool. It listens to the fire department and police department scanners. In the city of Maricopa, we scramble them so they don't hear them, but it listens to them and it says there's a fire here, there's and it pops up on your app. And it says, there's something happening here, something happening here. We need a police here, we need fire here, there's a car accident. It tells you. Okay. And you'll look at your app and you're like, oh, look at it. In the last 5 days, there's been all this stuff. 10 things. Then leave it on. It knows your location. Right? So it's funny when people talk about flock cameras, your phone tracks you every second of the day. But it knows your location. So go to Phoenix. Just go to Phoenix. Have lunch on 7th Street. Just go to a store. Go to a restaurant. Sit down. Your phone will go bing, 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 and you'll just see red dots all around you. And those are all the calls they're getting. Wow. Right? That's the difference here. You'll see some problems, but they're not the problems you have elsewhere. Yeah, they're not the assault, the rape, and the bodily harm and all that stuff. Does it happen? Yes. Is it at the same per capita as it is in other places? No. We're a very low crime rate city. So when I said blemishes, we have some, right? One of the biggest blemishes we have is the road, the 347. Right. Right. And that's getting fixed. So as we smooth out some of the issues, the city becomes more and more of a destination for business, for people, and so on, which leads us into the next question you probably have, which is people. Growth. Growth. We are growing, though. Maricopa is continually growing. Oh, yeah. And will it stop? No. You know why? It's a great place to live. Yeah, it is. You know, I moved here in 2010. Couple of reasons. We had a friend that lived here, and we came to a couple of events here. It was the 4th of July Salsa Festival. Okay. We came down to a couple of events. You know, sometime around July, it was 4th of July, where we came down and we were looking for a house. We were looking in Tempe, looking in Phoenix, and we came down and I said no, right, to my wife, my girlfriend at the time. I was like, no, I don't live down here. Really, it smells. And there was more than 1 million more cows back then. Okay. Right. Back in 2009, there was a lot of cows here. Not as many now. But it smelled all the time. It was like a haze in the air. And she goes, yeah, but our friend lives here and her parents live here. It's a cool place. We like the events. And the events were pretty cool. They remind me of where I grew up in New Jersey. It's like people and things, fireworks and TV and the movies in the park. We had a game in 2009, the inflatable thing. And it was fun. This is fun. So I was like, yeah, all right. Now, it was during the recession. Housing crash.
Yeah.
I lost everything I had in the housing crash. My house, my car, my business, my 401k, my IRA. I took it all to try and keep my business running. I did real estate appraisals, by the way. It was a bad time. I lost every single thing I owned.
Wow.
I had to short sell my house in Phoenix.
Oh.
I was broke, destitute. I had no car.
Oh, wow.
I bought a 1991 Ford Bronco, which I wish I would have kept. I bought it for $1,200. I sold it for $1,400 5 years later. I wish I would have kept it because now those are selling for $20,000, $30,000.
Wow.
Is a resurgence of Ford Broncos. But anyway, I had nothing. We're looking at houses up in the valley and they're 150, 170. It's pretty cheap, right? So we're down here. It's July. We went to the 4th of July event. I was like, it was nice, yeah. And I said, no, come on. And then I was like, all right. I told the realtor we're using, I was like, what about this Maricopa? He goes, it is. We're looking at Maricopa County. I go, no, this is it. It's called Maricopa down 347. There's nothing on either side of the road. It's like, takes like an hour and a half to get there. I didn't know that. It was only taking like 20 minutes. Traffic wasn't that bad. Yeah. But it felt like an hour and a half, right? Because the car didn't have air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
I'm serious. I had nothing. So anyway, he goes, all right, I'll look. And he sent me some MLS stuff. And I was like, look, man, I don't want to rent. I'm talking about buying. He goes, no, that would be your mortgage payment. Look at the first page, and that's the price. And I'm like, come on. He goes, no, it's the price. And I'm like, all right then. So we come down here. We looked at a few houses. I circled a house. I circled the middle school because 2 of my daughters were in middle school. Well, 2 of my daughters were graduating from elementary the next year. They would go to middle school. One of them was in middle school.
Okay.
So I circled them 2 middle schools. And then we said, all right, let's take a look. Then I said, well, where's the high school? There's only one. Okay. Walking distance to the middle school.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, that's nice. I go, now where's the elementaries? One of them was 2 years away from middle. And I was like, where's the elementary? And it was right there. And I said, oh, look at that. House here. And he was like, all right, let me look. Maricopa Meadows. So we got a house in the middle of middle school, high school, elementary school, all walking distance to one another. Kids didn't have to get on buses. Perfect for us. Wow. Perfect. This is perfect. So he finds a house. He brings it to us. He said they want $105,000. A 5-bedroom house.
Oh, wow.
2,900 square feet. $105,000. We said, oh, we'll give them 100. And they said they didn't take the 100. They said 102. And we said, yep, we'll take that house. Okay. Right? Yeah. So we bought a house for $102,000 in 2010 in the city of Maricopa. We're never going back. We love it. Right? Yeah. Just it's been great. Houses have, of course, gone up a lot in price. Of course, $350 or so is the median housing price in the city of Maricopa now. $349, whatever it is. So $350,000, a bargain in today's market. Sure. When you look at Tempe and you look at Chandler, and you look at Gilbert. So we have a good community, low crime, good people, excellent parks. Right? I mean, Copper Sky, Pecana Park, the Lakeview Park for Little League, good Little League system. We have good schools, right? We have some A+ schools, B schools. Our schools have really done well over the last 5-10 years in terms of increasing their ability to educate our kids. More teachers, expanding schools, new schools being built, where in Tempe they're closing schools and selling off the land. Here we're buying land. Well, but the school district is buying land and building new schools. Yeah. Right? Good place to live. Yeah. People are coming. Right? And prices will keep going up on those houses. Yeah, right? Because people are coming here and they see what we saw back then. Mm-hmm. So they're not getting a house for $100,000, but $350 is like $100,000 10 years ago. Yeah. Right? When you look at housing, yes. You look at it, you're like, whoa, $350? Let me go look at this. You look at the house, you're like, that's a bargain. Yeah. I'll take it. Yeah. Problem is, some of them don't do things like research.
Mm.
They come down on a Saturday to buy the house, make an offer. Then they come down on Wednesday afternoon, 5 o'clock. And they're like, all right, work's over. I'm going to go. I got my keys from the title agency. I'm going to go check out the house now. Yeah, honey, let's get in the car. And they get in the car and they start driving down 347 at 5 o'clock. And they're like, what is this?
Yeah.
And you're going 2 miles an hour. And they're like, that's the person on social media going, I hate this place and the traffic. Like, you just moved here. And they hate the traffic, right? They didn't do their research, right? If you work 9 to 5, this is probably not a great place to work. If you if you work up in the valley,
Right.
Probably a bad place, right? If you work 6 to 3, probably better. If you work from home, no problem. This is heaven. This is heaven.
You
You work from home, right? So I didn't do my research. I did a research on schools. Didn't do research on the 347.
Okay.
I used to work on the Broadway curve.
Oh.
Yeah, my wife and I worked on Broadway curve. Different times, different cars. Yeah, that's why I had to ride a motorcycle, because I figured that was quicker and cheaper.
Yeah.
Right? I was able to ride a motorcycle up there much better. I bought a motorcycle for $1,500, piece of crap. And I rode that for 3 years on the 347.
Yeah.
Put my life at risk.
Oh.
So I didn't do that research. I also didn't research a stupid thing called the railroad tracks.
Oh.
Straight to the city of Maricopa.
Yeah.
There was no overpass. So I was in my Ford Bronco. What is this? And the train just stopped there. I was like, what is this? The first week I lived here. Wait, 20 minutes go by. Okay, I can leave. 20 minutes! 20 minutes! Stuck. That's how I used to be here. The Amtrak would stop in the middle.
Wow.
Every 2 days. Each way, back and forth. Right? And it would stop because the ticket booth and the Amtrak would just block the road.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know where the blue barn is?
Yeah.
That used to be at 347. Gentleman Parkway. Right there. You just sat in front of that blue barn like this. 10, 20, 30 minutes as they unloaded Amtrak. And then it would go boop, boop, and it'd drive away. So a year in living here, I was texting this guy, about 2 years into living here. I was texting this guy, and he was the mayor at the time. And I was sitting at the train, and I was like, dude, this is the stupidest guy. Fix this damn thing. I might have cursed more at that point.
Okay.
And I was like, I'm late for work, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, dude, I'm 2 cars ahead of you. I'm like, oh, you son of a...
You're right there.
So, he was 2 cars ahead of me. We got out, we talked for a little while. He goes, if you want to fix this, why don't you run for city council? And why don't you work with us to get the overpass done? And I said, no, you're crazy. I ain't doing that. My wife said, no, you ain't doing that. 2014, I decided to run for city council. 2013, really. I ran for city council in 2013. I won in 2013. 14, I was sworn in, and I've been on council since. And we got an overpass done.
Yeah.
Because that was my main reason for running. Get this overpass done.
Yeah.
His name was Christian Price.
Oh, yeah.
Right? He was our mayor for many years, 10 years. He moved out of the house, right? He moved into an actual house with his kids. He was in a little 2-3 bedroom house next door to me. And he bought it as a starter house when he had his 1 kid.
No.
And then the market crashed. So he was stuck there. But with the market going up, he was able to move into a bigger house. And he finally has all the rooms for his kids.
Yeah.
But we lived next door to one another for 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, he just moved out in 2024, 25, something like that. So he moved to his new house. But we were very good friends. We're still good friends. But we were standing outside, talk to one another, talk about what's happening, why would things, blah, blah, blah. And like people get mad at me because they're like, I hate the 347. I hate this. I want this to come to Maricopa. I hate this. Blah, blah, blah. What do I say? Do you know what I say?
What do you say? I
say, why don't you run for council and fix it? Same thing he told me. Difference is I didn't get mad when he told me. I said, all right, I'm going to do it. Other people get mad.
That you gave him that offer?
Why don't you run for council?
Yeah.
And they're like, how dare you? It's your job. I'm like,
How dare you?
understood, but I'm not doing my job as well as you want me to. Run for council. Knock me out if you want. That's fine. If your ideas are better, win.
Mm-hmm.
When you become a council member, I'll hold you to fix all that stuff. That makes sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
Some people take you up on it. Tina Dugan, I told her, she's running.
Yes, she
Okay?
is.
Adam, I told him, he's running. James, I said,
Yeah.
you should run for city council. He's running. Anne-Marie Norman, she was on school board. And I placed her on city council, right? Because when, what's her name left? Rich left. We placed her on city council and then said, why don't you run for city council? She ran again and she won. You know, it's people who have an idea. They think things should be the way they should be or what they believe. Run for council. Mm-hmm. Fix it. Yeah. Christian ran for council because he was just upset with some of the stuff in the city. And he loved Tony, the mayor before, but Tony was going to the supervisor job, right? Or running for supervisor, Tony Smith at Pinal County. There was an open seat and he ran for mayor. He didn't want to be mayor. He just wanted to fix some stuff. Yeah. I don't want to be a council member. I just want to fix some stuff. And that's the true reason to run. Some people run because they want to be called a council member. Oh. They want to be called the mayor. They want to be called a congressman or whatever, right? They run for office for those things. Some people run because they just want to fix a few things. So people tell me all the time, well, what are you running for next? Nothing. When Christian left, I was the vice mayor. He left to go take a real job, making real money, instead of 20 grand a year, right? And I was a vice mayor. I became the mayor for 4 months or 3 months, whatever it was. And everybody said, oh, he's going to be the next mayor. They're going to give him the mayor. When he left, the day he resigned, I wrote an article or an op-ed saying, I do not want to be mayor. I don't want the job. Let's find somebody that wants it. I don't want it. I could have been the mayor. Didn't want it. Chose not to have it. When Tony Smith was leaving Pinal County as a supervisor, right? He wasn't running again. I was asked to run. I said, no, thank you. When 2 years ago, when Rich was decided to run, he was pushing me to run. And I was like, I ain't running, man. He goes, well, I'm going to have to run then. And I was like, well, you're going to have to because we need somebody from the city of Maricopa. So we got together and we had a conversation. Who has the best ability to do that job? We took Rich and we said, you do it, man. Let's do it. He resigned from council. He ran. He won. And he helped us in the city. I don't want that job. I don't want to be a supervisor. When my best friend, Brett Roberts, resigned from the legislature, right? The other legislators were calling me saying, hey, let's get you in. And I was like, no, I know somebody. Teresa Martinez will do a good job. I don't want the job, but I was being offered a job, right? This is what I do. I love being here in the city. That's why I bought a business in the city, right? Why I went into huge amounts of debt and make less money today than I used to make working on the Broadway curve because I want to be here in the city of Maricopa all the time. Yeah. I'm here. I'm a vice mayor. Pretty soon I'll be a council member if I win, right? But I gotta win an election. But I'll drop back down to council member because we pick a new vice mayor every year. Okay. I just gotta notice. Every year is a new vice mayor. There's a new, One of our 6 becomes a vice mayor for a year. I've done it a few times. Amber's done it a few times. Henry's done it a few times. But I'll be a council member again, and I will be happy. I'll be happy as a vice mayor and a council. I never want anything else. So people are like, you're gonna run for Congress one day. I'm like, no, I'm not. People are like, you should run for governor. I'm like, are you crazy? There's not a chance. And everybody is saying 2 years from now, when the mayor's gone, because I don't think she's gonna run again. I don't know. She hasn't said she's not running, so don't take that as. But I don't think she's gonna run again. It's time for her to go do some bucket list stuff. Go to fun, right? Go do stuff with your husband. Go travel, grandkids, all that stuff. She's contributed 12 years, by then 14 years of her life to serving the city in elected office. Right? They're like 2 years from now, whether you win a council or lose council, you're going to be running for mayor. I'm like, no. It's never going to happen. There'll never be a chance where I run for mayor because I don't want that job. I want the job I have today. That's it.
Oh, I like that. Okay, well, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions back to council.
I'll be quick.
No, you won't.
Sorry.
No, okay.
I can't.
Well, you know what? You mentioned a couple of things. So one thing I want to ask you, and then we'll dovetail into the Ignite Wellness.
Yes.
So we'll say that one for last.
All right.
But the one I wanted to ask you was about on a second. It was about the growth within the city.
And we talked a little bit about growth.
Right. And you talked about that. And then about with ADOT's information, and they've been giving out a lot of communication, which I think you said they were
Education.
pretty good, right?
We need education.
Right. So the other thing I was thinking about when you were talking about all these different businesses and the different things coming, I was wondering how you, because we were talking about other big businesses, but how you specifically help other businesses here locally.
Constantly. Now, as I said, I own in Maricopa.
Yeah.
So I deal with business all day, every day. That's my job, right? So my job in Maricopa is not writing stories. If it looks like somebody pounded their head on a keyboard and spelled everything wrong and had no sense of story construction, I did it. Right?
Okay.
I don't know that stuff. I'm horrible at it. I can't do interviews. If you haven't noticed, I ramble a lot. My stories would just be 8 pages of me rambling. It just makes no sense. I write an op-ed and I send it to 4 people saying, "What do you think?" And they're like, "Oh, man, that's bad." I'm like, "Well, what do you suggest?" Like, that's how bad it is. They got to tell me, cut this, cut that, cut this, because I'm just a horrible writer.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't do that stuff. And proofreading, read my Facebook post. There's no good proofreading there. I spell stuff wrong. I just, my grammar's horrible. I forget commas and periods. Just run on sentences like crazy. So anyway, it's not me.
Okay.
I bought this company because I can deal with people.
Okay.
I believe I can do marketing. I can do sales. And marketing sales is dealing with business. So I deal with businesses that have that are in the city of Maricopa daily. And then I opened a second business called In Buckeye. Oh, the city of Buckeye. Same concept. I do the same things there as I do here.
Okay.
Right? I deal with businesses all day. I give a lot of what's called free consulting. Right? It's free business advice. You're starting a business, call me. I am happy to sit here with you and talk about your business. Sometimes too long. I think we put a half an hour for our interview today. It's been over an hour.
Yeah.
Right? I talk and I give you advice, and I talk to people about business all the time. One of the biggest, let's talk about one business, right? There's a pizza place that was coming to the city of Maricopa.
Okay.
They said, "I'm coming to the city of Maricopa." Okay, cool. They went to the city and they said, "What do I got to do?" And the city said, this. Okay, that's what you do. You got to do this, A, B, C, D, E, B, 1, 2, 3. You got to do all this, roads, blah, 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 blah. Here's all the stuff you can do to open your business.
Yeah.
They're a professional company, right? They got a guy who used to work at Domino's Pizza, owns it, right? He used to work there as a logistics person on Domino's. He understands business. But he said, we've opened a bunch of these stores. It's just, it wouldn't work. It just, I can't do this. And so they just said, "We're not coming."
Oh.
And there was a whole brouhaha. People went crazy. They're like, the city turned them away. The city didn't turn anybody away. Right? What happened was there was a failure in communication. And I say on both sides, right? From the city side and from their side. So instead of coming back and saying, "Well, we can't do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to flip my building. I want to do this, and lighting and blah, blah, blah." They just said, "Man, it's too much." Right? Let's have a conversation. So, mayor, city manager, and me, we got together with the owner. Right? Mostly the mayor and the city manager did it like 4 times. I was only there once.
Okay.
And he was like, in Maricopa wrote that story, and blah, 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 that said that they weren't coming in. And that started some of the brouhaha, right? Because the reporter called up and said, "Why aren't you coming?" And they said, "Because the city, blah, blah, blah." And then the story got written, and everybody's like, people went crazy. But sitting down, having conversations, those conversations with businesses are invaluable. You just talk. You're like, "All right, what can you do?" Okay, that's too much to do this year. What if we move that requirement to next year, allowed you to get everything done open, and then next year you put in some of that landscaping? Does that make more sense? Well, it does make more sense. Well, let's do that. Oh.
It's God's gift through His word. It's God's gift through His word. Come get God's gift through His word. With T. Drake, we'll get God's gift through His word. Come listen, get your spirit lifted through His word. motivated. Come be